That's woken everyone up. Hello. Hello, hello. We need a new title. Right, enough of that heavy metal. Way too loud. Thought I'd go a little bit more upbeat. What is it doing? There we go. Hello, welcome. We are on the free to play. We are going to be pulling shards. Let's just turn up some lights here. It's pretty dark. You got yourself a Hall's ring and a new Duchess. That's amazing. Hall's ring is awesome. Don't tell me it'll be Yaga. I don't want Yaga. Yeah, I've decided to reduce what little hair I have further today. There's no point really paying for a haircut when you don't have much hair, so I just kind of lop it off myself, what's left of it. It's getting pretty dire. We're losing it down to here now. Not much left. We're holding on hope that maybe we can get another year out of it before we go fully bald. Which, to be honest, I haven't got a problem with. What do you want, Kaka? It's the fact that I'm going to look like some sort of vampiric Nosferatu because I'm going to be so pale. So yeah, I mean, I haven't cut the hair since like Romania, which is like 3 months ago. I let it grow out a bit, but yeah, it was overdue, and I thought just chop it all off. Yeah, the bald club is growing strong. We still got some of these missions to do. I haven't been able to play as much of the free to play today. I'll be honest. I have been super busy on a bunch of other things. So we've got a few things to catch up on first. Can I beat this team? I feel like I'm going to lose to that team because he's got the aura. It's not worth the risk. Again, the player power is low, but I just feel like I'm going to lose because they've got the team set up and they've got 260s. It's just not worth the risk. Any free 3v3 battles? That's a free one. Let's just put you against that. About right. Yep. You went fully bald in the early 30s. I have absolutely no problem. Like, a lot of people will go, you should do things like try the Newman drugs and you could do a hair transplant. It's like, I'm not that vain, to be honest. It doesn't really bother me whether I go bald. The only thing that concerns me is because I quite have like lightly colored eyebrows and I'm very pale, I'm just gonna look like I'm dying because I have no hair. It's not a good look. Like, I'm not one for fake tanning or anything like that. I'm just a very pale person. So the lack of hair with paleness is my concern, not going bald itself. I'm literally going to look like something out of like Romania. I'll be more Romanian than Odd One. Hey Jeans, welcome. I do have a beard. That was my thinking. I can't grow anything up here, but I can grow stuff here. So if I just grow a big beard, then I'll be like compensating. So yeah, but it was overdue. You know, it's quite nice. As I said, I don't bother going to a hairdresser anymore ever since COVID because I just bought one of those, just a standard like razor thing that you can, like, it costs me like 50 quid and I just chop it off to the largest size. So I'm not fully bald. Hey, Nick. Odd One, what did Odd One do? You retracted your message. What did I see Odd One do? If Odd One pulled something else, between Odd One and YST, they're making me hate the free-to-play life right now. Absolutely hate it. Let's just do that. Yeah, I also had a bit of a cut on the beard today, so... Right, stop that right away. Don't think it's going to matter, because I think he's going to be too strong. Yeah, let's just skip. Oops, skip that battle. Odd One got Cold Heart. Oh, go away, Odd One. Some people have all the luck. Some people have all the luck. We'll see what he gets. So, right, the free-to-play pages should be fixed again. I don't know what... We did some updates today. The good news is on the free-to-play pages, next week we should start seeing things like faction war stars. We should see things like the campaign progression. I'm going to be adding Doom Tower rotation too, and we are getting very close to being able to see your own current rank on the free-to-play leaderboards. So that's coming along nicely. I was going to be putting an episode out before I went live, but then I just didn't comprehend the timings and how long it would take me to get through some different things. So the free-to-play episode will be going out tomorrow with the shard pulls attached. And then also I got a video coming out tomorrow about Titan event points, which I think a lot of people should check out because it will give us a bit of a forecast of what we need to do for the next 2 months of the Titan events. So if you've been trying to get Titan event points and stressing about how many events you can afford to miss, then check out tomorrow's video because I'm going to break down exactly how many points we've got so far, and if we continue on this trend, how many points are we going to get, and what's the outcome, and what it's going to look like, basically. But those 2 videos should be going out sometime tomorrow afternoon, so in about sometime between the next 20 to 24 hours. What time is polls, zombies? I probably in the next 15 minutes. They could do that cool. They could. Do you know what? That's an absolutely great idea. But they could also not put player and play points on a tournament. But they've chosen to do that. So the thing of what they could do versus what they will do is on a different plane. Drax. So I got my second sacred shard, right? We finished the missions. Pretty much the next gate we're going to get is this silly magic keep. We're not going to be able to do this till Wednesday. So we can do some of this, pick up some energy, but we won't be able to do much else until Wednesday. So there's no urgent rush for me to get to here right now. I can do it over time. I don't need to do it tonight, so that's good. Challenges. This Ascender champion. We'll hold on to that. I need to do some classic arena. No idea what the cat is doing. We've got some soul stones as well. We're going to pull them, see what we get. We haven't got a Rhonda yet. 2 people in the challenger group has managed to get Rhonda souls. Lucky never. Looking at you. I can't beat at the moment. I'm struggling to beat this right now. But hopefully when we get some champions, hopefully we'll get something out of the shards. We can beat it. My food farming in the last couple of days, because I haven't had anything to do. I've been waiting for this silly void mission. I've just been putting all my energy into food farming. So my account level is actually caught up. But if you look, I've got 3 5-stars, 4 5-stars basically ready to go. I've got another 5-star there ready to go. I've got some food that I can use. Plenty of 4-stars. I've been basically sitting on a bunch of food. There's more 4-stars there, 4 stars here. I probably won't 6-star my champion now until Tuesday when there's a clan versus clan. So I'm just hoarding resources. We can kind of make the 1-stars in because might as well get some of that done. So yeah, so we're kind of like making progress. Yeah, it's because it's a ×3 sacred, Laszlo. It's all like in the video I released today. I basically was like, it's almost like they've gone, here's a ×3 sacred, really good, awesome, and then it's go, but because it's a ×3 sacred, you can't have anything else. Because let's face it, like, what would motivate my free-to-play account to do this? I'm not grinding 2250 on Fire Knight to get a 6-star Chaos Ore, but I might do it for the ×3 Savage. But then I'm like, yeah, you know, and also this is the greatest amount of a Titan points that they've added to a singular event that isn't the Hero's Path, that isn't summoning either. So if you take out the Summon Chases, Summon Rush, and the Hero's Paths, this is the most they've ever put on a single event, which is another kind of another troll by them. So we haven't pulled the Sacreds yet. We're going to be doing it on stream in a bit. I'm pretty sure Hellhades has pulled his shards, isn't he, Oxlane? I'm pretty sure he's pulled the Sacreds on his free-to-play. I'm kind of like Hellhades Warmup back today. We've got these to do. That'll give us some epic books. Oh, we did pick up an epic book as well. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm waiting for Clan versus Clan. But we'll be able to put another epic book. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll land in one of these two. Preferably this one. But, yeah. You can't pull Jizzo. Is that true? Oh, thank the Lord. I forgot that. Doesn't it make no sense though, right? Because we know that Ancient Shards is the best place to get legendaries, because just because it's times two sacreds doesn't mean you're going to get anything, right? They should have that you can't pull these champions at all. Right? I don't ever want to pull a frigging Seers or Arix. I wouldn't mind an Arix, actually. A Gerda Bogbrew. Like, just don't allow me to pull them from Shards and just make me empower them with other champions if I want to, right? That's the only reason why you couldn't pull them, is make me empower them. If someone's idiotic enough to feed them from their login, then that's their own problem, right? I just don't see why you need, like, you've locked them from Sacreds. Cool, we'll just lock them from all Shards, because it's nothing worse than you get to day 180 and then on day 181 you pull a Scylla the Drakes. It's like, great, now I've got 2 Scylla the Drakes. I didn't want 2. As much as Scylla the Drakes is a great champion, 2 is not what you want. You're not going to make a second one. You just pulled a Marksman. I pulled a Scion. Can you believe YST's pulls? YST is rocking, right? Pulled a Pythian, of all things. Just use the legendary books for Uragrim. No. Oh, we can do some faction wars today, because we've got the Kale going on. You got Scylla out of date. Yeah, exactly, Jessica. How bad did that make you feel? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how frustrating was that game? On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of quitting the game, how close were you to quitting the game after that? Because I'd be pretty close. I'd be like, are you kidding me? Yeah, resources can come in time, though. YST has got a huge leg up because he's got an Ally Protector. He's got a Pythian, which replaces his Jamasa. He's got an Anax, which long-term is a great poisoner. He's got... who else he got? He's got Coffin Smasher, probably the best decrease attack champion. I mean, I got Coffin Smasher, it's fine. But his resources will come. Oh, that heal reduction is going to kill me. I think this stage is too far. That's fine. This stage is too far. Stage selection. Let's just do stage 12. That should be fine, because we can super rate it. Got to gold on the free-to-play, got excited. Oh, you got gold. You got Basilius Rowanus is not bad. Actually, I've been meaning to level Basilius Rowanus on my main, because he is used to counter some specific champions in the arena meta. He's very good. Saphira, if you had to choose, who will you 6-star, Deacon or Ronda? Deacon. I'll be honest, I don't think I will bother 6-star in Ronda at all. I don't see... Like, until I get to the point where I have the capacity to just roll random champions in Arena and Clan Boss, I don't see there's any value in me 6-star in Ronda. What should you give me? Magic-based damage dealer. I already have Kale. I don't need it. For an Arena nuker, I'm going to have Gembo coming in. So she's not useful there. She doesn't bring Weaken. She doesn't bring Ally Protect, Decrease Attack, Decrease Defense. She doesn't bring any utility that would require her to be level 6, right? She doesn't bring anything of that nature. So I'm sitting there going, well, all she brings is the A2 to deal with Ultimate Death Knight and the passive attacks and the A1 and A3 damage. I just don't need her. I don't need her. So she's good at rank 5. And, like, for example, if I can get a soul on her, I will get a soul, right? Because Brimstone is more valuable right now than anything else. But in terms of rank 6 in, she won't be in my Clan Boss team for long once I get a proper team set up, because there won't be a capacity for her. I just won't have the space. Will you use Gembo for campaign farming? No, Gembo will replace Kale as my arena nuker. So right now, where I'm positioning my champions, Kale will probably become my primary poisoner in Clan Boss. Uragrim will probably become my dungeon carry and dungeon poisoner. And Gembo will then become my arena nuker. That's why Gembo is quite high up on my list of... He probably will be almost instantly 60'd. There we go. We get some faction wars done. What's the other faction that's open? Oghren. Oh, we've got some... Oh yeah, of course we've got Uragrim, haven't we? Forgot about that. Let's just super raid this. We'll do this and then we'll start looking to pull some shards. Yes, it's good, Grendel, but the problem is her having Giant Slayer with the passive is not going to be better than me having a properly built clan boss team, and she won't fit into any properly built clan boss team. She doesn't bring anything. There is no confirmation that Brimstone is getting nerfed. Everyone is just assuming it's going to get nerfed because they think it's overpowered. Actually, I don't think it's overpowered. I actually think when they talk about overpowered blessings, they're talking specifically about Arena, and they're talking about things like Lightning Cage. They're talking about things like Polymorph. They're talking about things of that nature rather than Brimstone. Because Brimstone is strong, but it's not game-changing. Like, putting Brimstone on Ronda will help me deal damage, but it isn't going to help me get to Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, right? Whereas putting Polymorph on a champion in Arena will probably help me win battles I wouldn't have won before. So, exactly. Brimstone is absolutely fine. I think their focus should be replacing the terrible blessings with utility for other roles and adjusting the arena dominant blessings so they're not oppressively RNG heavy. Wolfie's in the house. Me and Wolfie have been working hard over the weekend. He's been a monster, working silly hours with me, trying to make everything better for everyone. That'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. If they're only going to nerf Arena Brimstone, will be okay. If they're going to consider PvE, it'll have to nerf Brimstone because everyone uses it for PvE. But is it overpowered, though? Is like when you mention something that's overpowered, you basically, like, if we're talking about League of Legends, right? When we say something is imbalanced, it means that it can be picked into any scenario and it dominates to the point where nothing can compete with it. Now, I would sit there and say Brimstone in some scenarios is weaker than Phantom Touching Clan Boss if you have the right setup, right? Because Brimstone, so for example, if I had a Jintoro, as an example, this is how I tested it, who ran 3-1 in a Clan Boss team with 5,800 attack on a 6-star blessing, then Phantom Touch is better than Brimstone. So if something can beat it, it's not overpowered. So when they are talking about things that are performing better than they expected, they're talking about the fact that you put Polymorph on every single champion, whether it makes sense or not, because Polymorph is just it's stopping you using debuffs or buff stripping or doing anything, right? That's completely destroying an ability to do something. That is imbalanced, because if I can't bring my Madame Cerise now because Polymorph just disables her, then it's overpowered. It's too strong. It needs to be rebalanced and rethought. Now, it's not to say that Polymorph as a concept is terrible, even though I think it is. It's more the ability disables something completely, so you can't do something. What they need to do with the blessings is just look at it and go, do we have a blessing that makes sense for every role? And right now, I think there's a lot of blessings missing that we need for those roles, right? I'll do a bit of a brief overview before we pull the shards. No, they're not going to nerf Crush and Rend, because Crush and Rend requires you to be high Awakening for it to be relevant. Again, that's how they've balanced it, right? It's really strong if you're 6-star, but if you're not 6-star, it's pointless. They've balanced it based on Awakening level, so I don't think that's imbalanced at all. All right, Saf, did you see YST's big pull on Friday? I did see the Pythian. It's bad enough he's already got Taragi, now he has to have Pythian as well. How far am I away from Romantic with this count? Like, 7 months plus. The glyphs will stop me on this one because I've got to acquire them, right? That's going to stop me. I don't think I have to do any other Faction Wars related ones. It's just classic arena battles here. Do we have a battle? No, 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 yes. Yeah, so they've basically balanced Crushing Rend around two things. Awakening level and opponent level. So it's balanced by that factor, right? If you need to clear high-end content where the enemy HP is very high, then it scales appropriately. But in the arena, you're only getting like 6%, which is negligible. It's a cruel set, right? Like, let's just have a look here, okay? So when we're talking about blessings for roles, what we want is we want an ideal best in slot blessing for a damage dealer. We want an ideal best in slot blessing for a healer, for a for like a defensive based tank, like a damage absorber, like a damage sponge, and then a debuffer, right? Those are the kind of the 4 roles we have in here we're kind of looking for. And the big problem right now is you have a lot of utility-based blessings, and you have a lot of damage-based blessings, but you also have a lot of niche damage-based blessings and not a lot of anything else. No, not yet, Veronal. We're going to do it after this. With regards to Gembo, do you know how his unresistible decreased duration interacts with Stone Skin? The same way everything interacts with Stone Skin. It'll roll 50-50, Dutchy. If it manages to roll it, then it'll activate it. If it doesn't, then it won't work. So, for example, the only blessing right now, the only blessing that does anything with healing, anything at all, is Miracle Heal. And it doesn't even improve the value of the heal. It actually just affects the enemy max HP reduction. It's nothing to do with healing itself. So we actually, across all of these different things, we have no blessings. Like, this doesn't actually affect the heal at all. We have 0 blessings that actually improves a healer's ability to heal. Fundamental mistake. What should Miracle Heal be? It should have a flat percentage chance, flat percentage to increase the quality of the heal. So at rank 1, it should have a 100% chance to restore missing HP, and it should start at 10%. It should also have increases the strength of any healing by 10% at rank 1. Then at rank 3, it should go to 20%. Rank 5, it should go to 30%. And at rank 6, it should go to 40%. You could scale it whatever, right? This 15% should be 50%, if I'm being honest. Should have a 100% chance of healing, of restoring 50% of a heal's value from the max HP, because then you can actually use it in relevant places rather than it just being negative, right? At the moment, all it does is when the head of decay is up, you heal, it just negates it a little bit. You still lose a little bit of max HP. It's not that strong. And it only works when you're at 6 out of 6. So really, this should be scaled like that. That way, then you have a blessing that's best in slot for a healing type champion, like a Wither the Crowned, right? And it actually is quite good. Heaven Cast, I think, as it is okay. It's niche-y, but what it is, if you look at it, like Hellhades said, it's kind of useless in his video, and I kind of disagreed with that because it's designed for champions like a Seeker who has an A1 debuff that you don't want to have to get accuracy for. Because that's why you're getting attack and crit damage, because it's going, you can reduce the amount of accuracy you need by 40%, and then you get bonus damage on top. It's for damage dealers who have A1 debuffs that are valuable that you don't want to index into accuracy. It's a fine thing to have. Iron Will, decrease the damage the champion receives from enemy skills activated by other enemy skills, or when enemies inflict damage when it is not their turn. I think it's okay. I think that as a blessing is fine. I don't think it needs any work. Lightning Cage, I think it's just so dominant because you get 50% chance to protect a buff at level 1. Maybe that should be like 25%. Maybe. I don't think it's massively overpowered. Like, this is perfectly fine as well. These rare Indomitable Spirit, Dark Resolve, and this just needs like completely reworking. They're useless. And also, can we talk about Chainbreaker? It has a 15% chance on a 3-turn cooldown of removing debuffs, the control debuffs. But it only happens if they're under one of them. So it's got a 15% chance, and then it's got a 25% chance of filling its turn meter by 10%. Like, what is the point of that? These are so low odds that if I had a 6 out of 6 awakening, I'm never going to index into these because I can use an aura and get 35% more aura. You know, or I can use cruelty and get like 40% enemy reduction, or I can use Heaven Cast and get 40% less. You know what I mean? You're never going to index into those. This one for me should be completely deleted, and do you know what they should do? Make a debuffing blessing. Has 5% chance of protecting any debuffs placed by this champion that scales to 30% chance, like a protection set. Give us the opportunity to place a debuff and make it so that it cannot be removed. Please, for the love of God, that just needs to happen. It's not overpowered. It's not crazy because you've already got a protection set for buffs. It's not going to happen all the time. You can't rely on it, but it means if I use it in arena, it gives me some value, right? It reduces the strength of full cleanse champions, and it makes it a little bit easier to play the game. Commanding Presence is fine. Life Harvest, I think, is okay because it's designed to stop constant revivers, but it's very difficult to find a niche use for it, but I think it's okay. These two are perfectly fine as they are. You don't need to change them. Survival Instinct, I think, is okay, but I would like it to start at like maybe 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, rather than having it, you know, in that small form. Polymorph just needs to be completely reworked. Okay, so what it does right now has a chance of placing Sheep debuff on enemy champions whenever they place debuffs, or remove, or steal buffs. This cannot be blocked, resisted, as well as placed on a boss. So how do we get around this whilst also retaining Polymorph as a concept? You remove some of the conditions in which you activate Polymorph. Maybe it's only when you steal buffs. Still pretty good, right? Because there are some enemies that steal lots of buffs. Maybe just get rid of it when they place debuffs. Just have it so that it's only when it's remove or steal buffs. So it still hurts people like Ceres, but you can follow up with a debuffer, right? That would be a good way to do it. Right now, it basically means you cannot remove any form of buff. It's just too strong. It's too strong. No, I think it's okay, Anthony. I think you can have it in place with one of them, but whenever you're looking at these blessings, you're looking at it from a, what can it do for me and what can I do to counter it? Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm looking at it from, okay, right now I can't counter it because if I try to remove a buff, I die. It's just pointless. It's useless. I can't remove a buff. I can't steal it. I can't do anything. If it's a case of I do it when I place, then I should be able to remove or steal buffs, right? So I can't debuff them, but at least I can remove them. Or I have it so that it's when you remove and steal buffs, right? It doesn't deal with immunity. Polymorph on an immunity champion is still pretty strong, but at least if I can get it removed, then I can place debuffs without having the high risk. It reduces the strength of it. Otherwise, you might as well just delete the whole blessing, which you then get into the issues of people would have indexed a lot heavy into getting Polymorph and then will be really upset because they've taken away the strength and why they did it. So I think that's okay. If you basically make it so that one of these effects apply it, stealing, removing, or placing, then there's balances. I can counter it. I can bring a second debuffer. I can do different things. Or the other way to solve this problem is you have a counter blessing, which is what I thought they would do originally, right? So chaos maybe is balanced by a different one, right? So maybe you have a blessing here that goes protects against polymorph. So when we were talking about a debuffing role, maybe we change Iron Will to basically be allows your champion to place, steal, or remove debuffs. If the enemy has polymorph, this blessing disables that blessing. So I can put my, maybe it's a 50-50 chance, I don't know, but I can basically put my debuffer in a protected state against polymorph. You balance it out by countering. If you have committed too hard to sheep and you can't get rid of it, then you provide a counter to it. So you see this a lot in League of Legends, right? At the moment, you've got Heimerdinger is a very dominant support because he can push the wave. So what have players been doing? They've been picking champions that either outrange him or can outpoke him. They are countering the specific pick, but they have the ability and the option to counter it. Whereas right now, there is no option to counter Stone Skin. That is the problem with Stone Skin. It's not the effect, Polymorph. It's not the effect that's the problem. It's the fact that there's a lack of counterplay. So if they apply a counterplay to it, then it's better. So that's what I think they should do. Either you reduce the possibility to have it, but then you run the risk that it's pointless anyway, or you provide a blessing that a debuffer can use that basically invalidates or protects them against polymorph. So can you deflect? No, because it's not a debuff Ethoface, right? So the thing with polymorph, the reason why it never used to work with the masteries until they changed it is because the order in which it went, it would convert your champion to a variant. A bit like when the Hydra heads die, it becomes a variant of itself. It's not the same champion anymore. It has its own stats, it has its own skills. It's a completely different model. and then it applies the sheep debuff afterwards. So because the chance was based on the conversion of your champion, not the debuff itself, it meant that none of those masteries would ever work, right? Because those masteries only work by applying a debuff. So you can't deflect the sheep effect, because effectively, once you have become the variant, you no longer have gear. You no longer have skills. You have completely different, like it's a completely different champion. So you can't deflect it. Will Staff strike gold? I don't know. I'm kind of dreading it. No, I don't think they do it. As I said, I think when they have talked about blessings, the ones that I can see that they're going to do, they're going to replace Incinerate and Lethal Dose with something. They have to, right? It just doesn't work. Now, the problem is a lot of people will probably go into this, and I've done this in the past, where I've said, who came up with the idea that HP burn and poisons were damage dealers in Arena? I actually don't think that's what's happened. I think they've gone, it'd be really cool if we can increase the damage that HP burn does, and then destroy enemy max HP with the burn. That's really cool, right? But imagine how strong this would be if you had this in PvE. Imagine the strength of it. 50% increase to your HP burn. That means Spider is dead 50% faster. Bosses are dead 50% faster. Put that on Ninja. 50% more burn damage. It's just too strong in PvE. So I think what they did was they capped it in Arena to protect it from being dominant in PvE. But then nobody actually had the foresight to go, that makes it totally useless. Back a sec, the cat is doing something. I gotta find out what. Honestly, she shut the downstairs door, and then was ratty because she couldn't get upstairs. When will she learn? But yeah, so that's what I think they did with the blessings for Incinerate and Lethal Dose. Is again, like, imagine you can basically place poisons with 35% of the target's resistance and increase the damage by 50%. Like, it would make poisoners extremely dominant. It would make Theodore even more stronger. So they've capped it to protect the PvE balance, and then just like, well, we'll forget about Arena. Or maybe they were just like, we'll deal with it when we do the year of the PvP stuff, right? Maybe they just made the decision that it was fine to release, but it would need to be rebalanced when they got around to PvP stuff. So, all right, yes, you got locked out. You're unhappy with life. No, but in a lot of other content, it's really strong. So maybe that's what they decided to do, right? But that's what I think they'll do. I think they'll target these two. I think they will target maybe these ones, because they'll have statistics on what blessings are being picked. Hopefully they bug fix this. They might even touch Ward of the Fallen, because I think Ward of the Fallen is pretty bad. I don't think they'll touch Brimstone. They're definitely going to touch Polymorph. And then maybe we'll see something like, I don't know if maybe they'll add a whole new branch of blessings even, potentially. I don't know. They tend to drop things out of nowhere. So that's also very possible that we get a brand new set of blessings, which might change the way. If they do that, we'll probably get free resets. They'll probably reset it so that you can change it for free, because they won't charge you for that. So yeah, maybe they'll add a fifth category. But when they did do blessings, I did think that blessings would counter out each other. Like, I thought because we've got these divinities, things in chaos would be balanced by, things in light would be balanced by dark. But really, the divinities are just pointless. I don't even know why we've got divinities. So, right then. That's a side note bar. Have we got any arena fights? Or are we still waiting? We can see, what do we got? It's a 60,000 ultimate death knight. I don't want to fight it. I don't think I can kill it. It's too strong. Too strong. So, shards. What do we want? We need an ally protector. Okay? That's what we want. Right now, in our account, we have got 2 good poisoners. We've got our AoE decreased defense. We've got, to be honest, we've got a decreased attack champion in Coffin Smasher. He will be my decreased attack champion. So he's good. We have some control in Umbral, which is great. Harken will be used at some point. What we really need in this account is an ally protector or someone that can just hard carry my account. Now, I don't actually want Kaimar. Thankfully, we can't get Kaimar. I didn't want Kaimar anyway. I don't want Kaimar. So, someone like a Taragi. I actually wouldn't mind someone like a Vasulf. Because I can always... What I kind of want are champions that can transition to other phases after I don't need them anymore, right? The last thing I want to do on a free-to-play is invest all my eggs in a basket, and then that basket is useless after, like, 6 months. Someone like a Vasulf is an interesting pick because he is an ally protector, but he's also a provoker, so he can transition to Hydra if I need him, or he can transition to Magma Dragon. He also does a lot of damage on this A2, so if I need a pseudo-Magnar style team in the arena, I can always transition him to be a damage dealer. He's also a different affinity. So for me, if I got a legendary, Vasulf would be up there as one of my options. Vasulf would be definitely one of the options I'd want as an ally protector. Obviously, this dude is like beastly godlike. He would be really strong. I actually would prefer not to get a Kyoku. She's actually quite difficult to speed to him because of this extra turn. But if I got her, I'm not going to complain. She's not necessarily the ally protector that I would really like. Obviously, we can have someone like a Taragi. Would be really good. So yeah. I don't think there's any other really big ally protectors that I'm thinking would be really good to have. Nizana's not a bad ally protector. Obviously, then we have the OP carries for healing and stuff. But I think that's generally the pattern. Tyrant wouldn't be too bad because obviously Tyrant is the HP version of Vasulf. Vasulf is a little bit better in my opinion. And even if we have to go as bad as Lugan, right? Lugan can at least do a 3-turn, right? Lugan is not terrible. It's not the best, but he's not terrible. We're probably going to pull the Ancients as well because, you know, why the hell not? This will be the last yeet of the year. And then we're going to start saving. Okay. Should we do a poll? Will we strike gold? Come on then, guys. Give me good luck. I'm nervous about this. We'll have some dramatic music. Do a mystery to cleanse your luck. Okay. I don't have many mystery shards, believe it or not. %53% of you think I will. 54. I don't mind as well. The other thing, right, if I don't get an ally protector, if I can just get a different affinity nuker, that will also be like really good, right? Because right now a lot of the places I struggle with sometimes is all my damage deals are magic based. So if I had like a different affinity nuker, that's also not terrible to have. Oh, it's close. If you guess what I pull, will you get anything? I don't know. It depends what you guess, I guess. Not really. I mean, if you think I'm going to get a Jizzo or something, obviously I can't get a Jizzo, but my birthday's tomorrow, which is why there's no stream tomorrow. I've had to move it to Wednesday because I'm out tomorrow night. Yeah, but I'll get Gembo in a couple of days. Yeah, that's fair, Gene, is right. That's true. But Gembo's like going to have to go into a dedicated arena build, so. Okay. 3, We're gonna pull a sacred, then we're gonna pull the ancients, and then we're gonna pull another sacred. 54% of you think I'm gonna do this. Let's go. Oh, I don't want to look. Oh, it's epic. Oh, that's not a great start. Oh, that's awful. Oh. Oh. Is it Smurf? There we go. It's a terrible start. That was awful. Okay. That's only one, though. Maybe we'll get something else. Abyssal. Actually not a terrible champion because he's AoE block buffs. Heal. Increased defense. He'll be kept because he might be useful. Another runic warder. Oh, an epic. A delver. Not terrible. Actually not terrible. Different affinity nuker. I said this was needed, right? What I said was, obviously Gemba will be coming. Spirit nuker with decreased defense, self-buff and increased attack, AoE weaken. Actually not terrible. She's actually quite good since they've buffed her, right? So what do we get? We get a heal reduction, which is useful in some places, like Fire Knight potentially. She'll attack one enemy, places a weaken for 3 turns. So it's 100% uptime on weaken. If the target has decreased defense debuff and it can't be resisted, we can run her alongside Deacon so we don't need accuracy on her. She does self-buffing and she is she's single AoE. Obviously only single target, but she's actually really solid. Really interesting. Not the worst. Not the worst epic I could have pulled. And the final rate is a Ironclad. Okay. Disappoint me, game. Give me nothing. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. What a useless pull for me. What does this champion give me? At best, he's a spider tank. Do you know what I don't understand about this champion? Look at everything he interacts with HP burn. Guess what he doesn't do? He doesn't place HP burn. It's not that I don't think he's good, Anthony, but this is my problem with this account. What actually does he give me that I don't have already? He doesn't give me a HP burn. He doesn't... I don't need damage. Okay, he's Spirit Affinity. Fine. I don't need it because I'm going to be getting Gembo. And Gembo's a better damage dealer than him in Arena. I just... Oh, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. All of that, look at that, that just got me nothing. Oh, we'll yeet the Void Shard. I don't care. I'm so frustrated. Yeet the Void Shard. Oh, there you go, you know. I don't need a debuff spread, though. Why? Because I got Harken Greatblade. And Harken Greatblade is a debuff spread on Void Affinity. Just... My account is crying out. Like, I'm in the same... I was hoping the Sacreds would give me someone to 6-star. Because I'm sitting here, I'm going, I have no one to 6-star. Because no one in my account is going to change my account. Yeah, Magnar's my best hitter, but Magnar requires builds, and like, this is the problem. You're thinking far too much at the end game right now for what he can actually do for my account. Okay, he is not going to be good in Arena for me right now because of his affinity. Look at who he's going to be fighting. Magic, 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 magic. Everyone is magic because every starting account is magic based. So He's going to be weak affinity into pretty much every arena team that I fight. I don't need a debuff spreader because I've got Hark and Greatblade. And this is not going to be as good as Hark and Greatblade's ability because he's Spirit Affinity, where Harken is like Void. He doesn't do AoE HP burn. He's just kind of... Genbo is by far... Genbo is by far a better damage dealer. Because the thing about Genbo, and it's something that I overlook at multiple times, the thing about Genbo that makes him strong is less about his utility, and it's more about the fact he places increased crit rate and increased damage on himself, then gets an extra turn. So his build cost is less 30% crit rate to start with. Right? So he's going to hit harder than Magnar. He's going to be Void. Yeah, but like you're saying that Magnar is going to be easy to keep alive when he's not, because I won't have the gear. That's the problem. In the end game, Magnar might be better than Genbo. In the early game, Magnar's nowhere near the level. I'll have Genbo from Prime Rewards. But like now, so basically, right, I'm sitting here. Who do I 60 next? Who do I 60 next? And I'll give you the rundown why I'm struggling. I could 60 Orogrim, but I already have a Poisoner, so it doesn't give me anything. I could 60 Deacon, all it's going to give me is Giants, is Warmaster and Clan Boss. It doesn't push my account further. I could 60 Rhonda, I'm just getting more damage from Kale. I don't get anything beneficial. I could 60 Magnar as a Spirit Nuker, but it's not like he's going to be giving me any debuffs that are relevant to get me further in Clan Boss. He's not going to help me in Dragon. He's not going to help me in Fire Knight. He might help me in Spider as a tank. Like, that's his usage for me right now, is if I have an AoE HP burn, then in Spider, he can tank things, but I don't have an AoE HP burn yet. Delver is more interesting to me because I have a Clan Boss decrease, Clan Boss weaken. But even then, like, she's going to take a heal reduction slot. And she's probably going to be squishy, right? Because I think Delver... What is she? She's a Dark Elf, right? 914 base defense. It's gonna be hard to get. HP is okay. She's gonna be hard to keep alive, basically. And again, if I'm talking about resources, I could just bring my Harken. Let's just put him in Master for a second, right? Because Harken Greatblade is gonna bring me a weaken. She's going to bring me more damage than Delver. She gives me the debuff spread. So if I need a debuff spread and weaken, I might as well take the Void Champion that can work on every affinity. True, that's fair, Gort. She won't do heal reduction if I don't build it, actually, which I wouldn't. But you see what I mean? I'm struggling at the moment because I can't decide. I was hoping the Sacreds would give me a direction on this account, but I just don't know. I honestly don't know who to 60. 60 Ripper. What is Ripper? What a pointless champion. What an absolute pointless champion. Yeah, but the problem with Orogrim is, again, and this what people need to remember, this is the same problem I had with Deacon. Until he is booked, Orogrim is a bot. Orogrim is quite useless. Because these on 5-turn cooldowns, and this being on a 25%, means he never poisons on his A1. He hasn't got enough ability to go back round to his skills, which means he's going to die on waves. So all of this thing that people are saying, oh, he's a great dungeon carry, it's like, yeah, he will be when I get books. But until I book those abilities, and this could take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more epic books potentially. Until I fully book him, or at least book the A2 and the A3, he's not that powerful. Honestly, I'm in the position where I actually think Coffin Smasher might be my next 60. As crazy as that sounds. Because the only reason why you 60 a champion is you need access to damage, which is Giant Slayer or Warmaster, or you need access to raw stats, like you need to keep him alive or you need to do more damage. And to me, like, Coffin Smash is going to be the squishiest of the bunch. So if I can keep him alive longer, I can get my decreased attack longer. I can push him up further in Clan Boss. But those Sacreds are just really disappointed. Like, I'm struggling with this account. I've no direction on it. I've no champions in this account that I would go instant build. That's what I'm thinking, Fire, right? It'll also be helpful for other areas, like bosses. He'll be really good in Fire Knight. He'll be really good in Dragon. He'll be really good in Ice Golem eventually. He's also, I'm pretty sure, I think he is my only HP burn. Let's have a look. So if we have a look at HP burn, it's my only HP burn champion. So he would give me access to HP burn on a banner, because obviously I need accuracy. He would give me access to decreased attack. He would give me access to some damage reduction in arena. I can replace Runic Warder with him. Would be great for Fire Knight. I feel like he's my next 60. But, you know, it's pretty difficult. And I go back to what Earbad was saying, I guess, where he was saying, you know, you can't compete with others because, let's be honest, there's no way that I'm going to get to Ultra Nightmare before someone like YST right now. There's no way. Because he is, he's got Taragi, he's an ally protector, he's got Pythian, this really strong tank, a block debuffs. You know, he's got everything set up for a clan boss team. Same with Dead to Jedi, right? He's only an ally protector away from having his team sorted. Whereas I've got the good remnants of a Kale Deacon setup. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that I don't have anything. But without an ally protector, my progress is going to get stunted. Because it's the only way I can survive in the early game. Unless I pull like a Demitha, a tower. Yeah. You pulled Fane and Kalia. Fane is okay, I guess. Kalia's not great. Yeah, but next I'm in that situation for everyone. Everyone I have here right now can do everything they can at 50. So what I'm looking at is which champion is most likely going to be in my clan boss team. And the only question mark I had was, am I going to pull a better decreased attack champion from my sacred shards? I didn't. So Coffin Smasher is basically going to be the best. He's going to be in my clan boss team, my first Ultra Nightmare clan boss team, unless I pull something with a better decreased attack, which is very hard. So, hey Shadow, yeah, we're doing a surprise Sunday stream because we were pulling Sacreds and we got absolutely nothing. So, I would just up Gembo. Well, I've got enough. By the time I get Gembo, which is what, 2nd of the 2nd, so that's in 1, 2, 3, 4 days. In 4 days, I will have enough food for another 60. I've not 60'd anyone other than Kale, right? So if we look right now, in here, I have, if I do this, and I basically say, who is locked at the moment? I don't think I need you anymore. You I definitely do. Arndolf, Elf Guards. I don't need you anymore. Judge, keep hold of you, keep hold of you. We're just keeping hold of rares and stuff I know that are definitely good. So in terms of champions that I don't have, right? Why aren't you locked? You should be locked at 1. Oops. You should be locked at 1. Gladiator shouldn't be locked. Reduce the audio, that's a bit loud. So in terms of food, right, I've got 4 rank 4s ready to go. I also have a level 40 and soon to be another one. So that's 6 rank 5s I've got ready to go. I also have Jizzo, which I'm going to feed because I think he's like, let's face it, Jizzo is useless, right? He doesn't do anything. What does he do? Skinwalkers, your Lizardman, Skinwalkers, Ogrin, Lizardman. What does he do? Places a provoke, counter attack on one ally. Useless, right? So I'll feed him. I'll probably feed Ripper, useless. I'll keep Delver. Let's keep her locked away. And then I've got basically 13 rank 4s ready to go. So obviously 4 of them will make another one, 4 of them will make another. So that's 12. So we're only a few rank 5s away. I'm sitting on a lot of rank 3s. So I will probably have enough to basically instantly get Gembo to 60 by the time I get Gembo. So I actually think Gembo will be fine, right? Because although he'll be dedicated to Arena, I can still use him in places where Kale's not a great damage dealer, right? Or someone else is not a great damage dealer. So I'm not too upset about the Delver. I just don't know whether or not she could be useful later on. So Mischief, Tank, and Provoker. Who? Jizzo. It's so easy to make a Mischief, Tank, and Provoker, though. There's so many Provoke champions now. I mean, I could literally go and farm. Isn't there a farmable Provoker? I'll feed Jizzo. I'm sorry, I just don't need Jizzo. Hydra is like 7 months away from me right now. It is better that I build a Ultra Clan Boss team than worry about Hydra. I'm not even thinking about Hydra. Well, he can be used, but like there is probably about 10 champions above Jizzo. I mean, yeah, okay. Well, I could just use this guy over Jizzo. Where is he? There you go. 30% provoke on an A1. Actually, 75% chance on an A1. And it's rare. Just go use Rock Beast. Jizzo is a 2-turn provoke. Yeah, I get that, but I can just use an A1 1-turn provoke on Rock Beast if I really care about it. And by the time I get to Hydra, I guarantee you there'll be a better provoker in the thing. Greybeard Skinwalker. There you go. 75% chance to provoke. Also places counterattack on himself, so he's going to be able to counterattack. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm saying that Jizzo is like totally useless. Maybe I am, but for me right now, I might as well feed him because I'm never going to use a Jizzo for anything. What's the Delver's multiplier? Like Delver hits really hard. It's not that I don't think Delver's good. I'm quite interested in Delver. The problem is, for what I need right now, her value is unkillable, not killable, right? Her value is if you bring a decreased defense, you get an irresistible weaken, so you can ramp up her attack and do lots of damage. The problem is going to be, I could invest in a Delver and basically just get a weaken, right? I get an AoE decreased defense, which isn't 100%. Or I can get 100% weaken. I would invest in it for the weaken, but then I could literally just go, hey guys, I'll just go invest in my Harken Greatblade that does 100% chance to weaken and hits harder than Delver and is void and has debuff spread. So again, you've got to think when you're doing a free-to-play, where are you going to be able to put your resources? Because you can't just willy-nilly upgrade champions. I'd rather upgrade Harken, which is going to provide 3 different utilities, than Delver, which is going to provide like 1. Would I trade in all those pulls? No, Skullcrusher's trash. I'd never use Skullcrusher. I'd trade it all in for any form of ally protection. So in terms of the epics that I will feed right now. Okay, Urgrim stays. Quagon will stay. Umbral will stay. Arndolf will stay for now. Jizzo is going. Ripper is going. These 2 will stay. But Jizzo and Ripper are going. I'll keep the rest. Does he have ally protect? It's probably trash. I will die on a hill. I dislike Skullcrusher and I think he is a bad champion because he doesn't bring enough. Yeah, he has ally protection on a 3-turn, I guess. He would service me decently. But of all the ally protectors, he's the worst. He's the worst ally protector of the lot of them. By far. I know a lot of people still use it. It's a personal thing with Skullcrusher. I dislike Skullcrusher because I don't like the fact that he doesn't do anything. I should be using this, really. Never really used that. I should be focusing on trying to get some Faction Guardians in as well, I guess. I haven't really looked into it. Ogrin, for example. Trying to think what other rarities I'm using rares on right now. Dwarves, maybe. Would you happy with Jareg? Yeah, Jareg wouldn't be so bad. Jareg is a lot better than Skullcrusher because at least Jareg gives you a reliable A1 decrease attack, and he also has some extra healing utility, and he also gives increased defense, right? The problem is he wouldn't work necessarily in a clan boss team. I'd have to run him 4-3 to get this to work, but he's better than Skullcrusher for sure. What you got to remember with Skullcrusher, the problem with Skullcrusher is all he brings is this A2. Sure, he will remove the stun. Fine. It doesn't remove his cooldown, though. It doesn't make it like he still takes the cooldown ability because he's stunned. Heal reduction. Useless. So all you're getting is a 3-turn ally protection and counterattack. And to be honest, I would value increased defense, block debuffs, healing, a decreased attack, decreased defense, weaken, something on top. That's his problem. Counterattack is like not that important. It's not that crazy. I can get to Ultra Nightmare without counterattack. I can't get there without an ally protector with other utility. To the extent that I think having counterattack over increased defense is not worth it. Yes, you may be able to get extra attacks, but those extra attacks are dependent on the boss's attacks, whereas increased defense will help me last longer, which means I could get, in a 2-1, for example, I could get double the amount of attacks that a counterattack is going to give me. Counterattack is also capped at at 75%. So the era that counterattack is really strong, like people will rave about counterattack because of Valkyrie's shield, not her counterattack. The shield is what gives Valkyrie really a lot of strength here, because it's the strongest shield that you can get, keeps you alive. The counterattack is on top. The problem with Skullcrusher is we're going in there with, oh, well, he does counterattack and ally protection, which is great. But when you have someone like again, I compare it back to like a Vasulf. Like compare, for example, a Toragi, which has decrease attack, which has a provoke, which has shielding, reflect damage. He also can have an ability of placing poisons versus Skullcrusher that does ally protect and counterattack. That's my problem with it, right? Toragi is the same rarity, and he does like infinitely more things. He's just a bit power crept as well. I think that's the other issue. You know, he's an OG champion that other champions have come into the game now that just do a lot of what he used to do in one kit. Let's pull these souls then. Maybe I'll get something lucky out of this. A Fanatic. Oh, an Epic. I thought that was a Delver for a second there. Oh, nobody wants a Blood Feather. Oh, well. All of that build up. And we're no further along. I'm not farming finite. Am I doing it on my main? I think I'm putting energy into it that I get. I'm not farming it in the sense that I'm not burning. So you did arrive late, Kessel, but you didn't miss much. I got a Magnar and I got a Ripper and a Delver. So it's great that I started with Deacon Kale, but let's face it, my account is just not getting anything from Shards. I've got literally nothing from Shards that I can... My best pull is a Coffin Smasher from a Mystery Shard and Orogram from a Void Shard, actually. The Voids have actually been okay. It's just, I'm struggling to decide who to 60, and I just don't know who to 60. It's really difficult. Trumbo is pretty solid, though. Like... The thing about Trumbo, right? Trumbo falls into the category of what I was talking about before. When you start the game, he's an ally protector, right? With a weaken on an A1 and a leech on an A1. So pretty useful utility. He's not the best ally protector in the world, but he does it on a 4-turn cooldown, so you need to run him at a 4-3. But then what you can do is he can be transitioned to be a defensive-based nuker if you want him to be later on. So he has utility beyond just when you need him. So Steel Skull's actually quite solid, right? It's a bit like, it'd be nice if there's a 4-turn cooldown. Run him on a 4-3 in a... Like, he's... Like, for a clan boss team, he'd be really a big pull right now. Because you run him 4-3, you prioritize this ability, and you can also cleanse the stun. And you get poisons. Not a great chance, but he's actually solid. And you can transition him later on to carry you in the faction wars. So... I actually don't think decreased defense does much right now. Believe it or not. Decreased defense in clan boss is doing nothing for me. Long term, it will be beneficial. But again, all of my champions at the moment are like, Deacon can do everything he needs to do at level 50. Like, taking him to level 60 gives him War Master. That's about it. I don't know. I'm struggling. Yeah, I'd rather have Steel Skull than Skull Crusher Fire. I would. I'm not joking when I say that. I would. I think Steel Skull is better than Skull Crusher. Jamasa is useless. Like, I know you've been trying to convince me that this champion is useful for something, but she's utterly useless without books. And that's the same problem again, right? I'm not going to invest books into a champion I'm not going to use that long. This requires the books to be useful. Otherwise, you forget about it. 7-turn cooldown for a revive? Too long. And then this is probably the best thing. This doesn't even do anything. So why would I need Jamasa? What is she going to give my teams, right? What is she going to give me that a Rogrim, Deacon, Kale can't already give me? Nothing. She is not good. I might pull her. I'm considering pulling her for the 250 energy, though. I'll be honest. I am considering that. Why am I prioritizing? Because clan boss is way more powerful than dungeons. If I want to be able to progress fast or progress anywhere in this game, I have to have Ultra Nightmare clan boss. Because that is access to shards, which is access to champions, which is access to beating dungeons. For example, if I want to be able to beat Fire Knight beyond stage 20, and even earlier, I need an Allure. Well, the only way I'm going to get an Allure is if I get access to shards. The only way I can get access to shards is clan boss. If I wanted to push some of these different dungeons like Spider, I need AoE HP burn. The only way I get an AoE HP burn is if I pull a champion, or I get Akoth, which is months away. So if I want to progress in Spider, I need shards. To get shards, I need clan boss. This is where people go wrong in the early game. They focus on dungeons and mess around with things. The literal only thing I want to do is hit Ultra Nightmare clan boss. That's all I want to do. It's my only focus. That's my only goal. Everything I am doing in this game right now is get me to Ultra Nightmare clan boss. And so far, the shards are kind of saying, you're not allowed to do Ultra Nightmare clan boss because I just don't have the champions for it. I have 4 of the champions that would build a team, right? My first team is probably going to be Deacon, Kale. More than likely will be Coffin Smasher. At this rate, it's looking like it's going to be Quagon, and then it would be an ally protector. So... No, I get that, Anthony. I agree. My problem is, even... So, if we take the concept of take the clan boss out of it, who do I 60 here that's going to help me progress in any content that much? The only argument you could make is Orogrim at 60 will help me progress. True, but he needs the books. And guess where the books come from? Clan boss. Even if I can get to Nightmare clan boss initially, it's good. So, yeah. So, I mean, rolls of rolls is exactly, that's my thinking. You've hit the nail on the head there. The reason why he's not 60 already is because all he gives me is so if I look at what I've already got, I've got a poisoner. So he's a poisoner with continuous heals. So all he's given me is continuous heals. So until he's booked, he's not going to carry any of my dungeons solo. And I haven't got the gear to do that. So I'm sitting here going, well, there's no real need for me to 60 him right now because he's not going to add any more value. It's not even like I can sit here and go, he's going to give me War Master, because it's a very strong possibility I don't put War Master on him, because you don't generally do that. Like if we have a look at the Urogrim builds on, if we look at the website, if we look at the mastery builds that you have on him, right? He's not running War Master. You know, you would run him with War Master and Clan Boss, but in here, he's not running War Master. He's running something else. So I'm in a bit of a tricky situation. You wouldn't use him in Clan Boss. Jeans, you wouldn't use Coffin Smash on Quagon. Why would you not use Quagon? Rhonda made Coffin Smasher useless. I don't understand that logic. What? How does Rhonda make Coffin Smasher useless? Rhonda doesn't give me decreased attack. Coffin Smasher does. Like, the thing of what Quagon gives me, the only reason why I'm talking about Quagon is he gives me, most of my champions in Clan Boss early game are going to be higher defense than attack. So I get a block debuffs and an increased defense for 2 turns. Pretty good. I also get shielding and healing. Pretty good. So I'm not 60 Rhonda. I'll be honest, guys. Rhonda is a waste of resources, a bait. It's total waste. Like, I don't have the resources to be throwing around 60s. So the 60 that I do has to make a big difference to my account. And I will be honest, she is not going to do any more than Kale can do in places. The only difference she is going to have is if she pulls a Brimstone. So she's fine at level 50. She will do everything she needs to do at level 50. Like, the only thing I get is Giant Slayer. I don't have marked, no. Yeah, the block debuffs is only 1 turn. It's more the increased defense, guys. Increased defense is incredibly valuable in this game for an early game Clan Boss. It will help me stay alive. So having a 2-turn increased defense that I can run on a 4-3 every turn is massive. Yeah, but remember, Brimstone can work at rank 50. Yeah, Deacon is fully booked. Deacon got my first epic books because it made sense, right? I wasn't questioning that. Unfortunately, I had to go all the way in the A1 because it basically prioritized the A1 before it did the A2 and the A3. That was unfortunate, but so yeah, she pushes your dungeons. Kale is doing everything that like, she is not better than Kale. Rhonda doesn't outdamage Kale that dramatically. Like, that's the argument here. Like, so if I look at the damage comparisons between the two of them, right, I can literally look at the math and I can tell you that 60 in Rhonda doesn't give me much more than what Kale gives me. Because keep in mind, I haven't got like obscene gear to put on her, right? So she's not going to instantly be like, 250% crit damage and savage and off we go. She is not that crazy strong. She doesn't bring anything other than damage. Like, she doesn't bring turn meter control. She doesn't bring decreased defense. She doesn't bring weaken. She doesn't bring control. These abilities are single target, which are great for Ultimate Death Knight, but in dungeons I'd have to bring a Hearken to make it enable. This doesn't proc that often. 15% chance is not that crazy. You need it only in settings where you're fighting a long time, which is Clan Boss. Like, I can literally show you the damage comparison. Name, Kale, Rhonda. Look who comes out on top. Rhonda beats him. Absolutely correct. for single target clan boss. Now look at general damage. She's not that crazy. She's not that much more. 24,000 for her single targets. Her AoE is a little bit stronger than Kayle. But Kayle's booked. That's what you got to remember. This requires books to be relevant. Otherwise, it's such a long cooldown. She does hit harder than Kayle. She hits harder than actually I thought. This hits hard in clan boss if you get all 4 hits, right? Fair enough. If you get all 4 hits, it hits really hard. But this is assuming that I can build her with enough damage, with enough books, with everything else. And I'm not building attack right now, right? If I had an unkillable team, she'd be way stronger than anyone else. But I don't have an unkillable team. So I have to build her with defense to keep her alive, which means then, you know, poisons don't overcome the damage. No, Phoenix, that's just on hit. It's 100% about clan boss. I think that's the difference of opinion here, Anthony. You're not valuing the clan boss. I value clan boss over anything else in the world. The amount of accounts that I have seen who are pushing hard Doom Tower and they're not even on Ultra Nightmare clan boss would shock you. Would actually shock you. Because the first point of progression any account should be focused on is how do I get to Ultra Nightmare clan boss? Because Ultra Nightmare clan boss is this. No other content in the game other than Doom Tower top hard is going to give you access to Sacred Shards on a regular basis. And if you can't get access to Sacred Shards, that means you're missing out on fusions. It means you're missing out on ability to get more champions and the ability to push your account further. Epic book, legendary books. That's where the argument I hear people coming from saying legendary books are so hard to get, epic books are so hard to get, I can't get shards, I can't do fusions, is because they're focusing on dungeons. And they're focusing on Doom Tower, like trying to climb different, like right now I'm getting some good rewards for my level for Doom Tower because it's easy, right? But easy is only going to give me like a void shard every month. It's going to give me lots of energy. It's going to give me the odd epic book, like it's 2 void shards, 2 epic books, 3 void shards. So I'm going to get 2 epic books and 3 void shards from Doom Tower every month. I could get that in 2 resets for clan boss. 2. So it's frustrating. I don't know. I don't know who to 60. I have to think about it. So yeah, exactly. The focus is just spread out. It's the game's fault, right? Because the game forces you into different directions, right? The game pushes you into different places to make you do things that actually is not very efficient. And then you forget that you're not progressing in clan boss. So yeah, you don't need unkillable for clan boss. You need either an unkillable champion or ally protector to get high in clan boss. If you don't have either, then it's really difficult. I could probably get, Anthony, I can probably get to, this is what I'm saying about things right now. I can probably do this without 60 anyone else, right? All I do is we take out you, we put you in, we do this, right? And I'm pretty sure I could probably do stage 16 dragon without 60 anyone else. Right? Full auto. We'll probably fail full auto because I'm not controlling it. Yeah, Deadbolt. When I mean unkillable, I mean someone like block damage or unkillable buff, right? What I mean by unkillable is I mean team speed tunes that are designed to last 50 turns. The lures are going to hurt me here. Oh, we're surviving. She's in Relentless at the moment, Nexard. It's actually quite good. If I could get an accuracy banner, it would actually help a lot for Kayle. We're probably going to struggle here because of resistance, actually. I didn't really check the resistance. Yeah, we're going to fail because I haven't got enough accuracy for the boss. And that's just because I don't have accessories yet. Because I actually don't have any accuracy banners or any perception gear. Boom. This is where I'm thinking. So here's where I'm thinking Coffin Smasher may be a good 60, right? Because he can replace Runic Warder and be a slightly more reliable decreased attack champion. He's probably going to go into my clan boss team anyway. So from a dungeons perspective, he will fit into the team. I didn't pull. No, he's not yet, but I've got 10 rare books Deadbolt, so I can book him pretty much like in CVC. His passive also gives me 5% AoE damage reduction, which is 90% of all damage you receive in a PvE setting. But do you see what I mean? Like, I don't need any more 60s to get to Dungeon 16, which is the first goal, right? I don't really care about Dungeon 20 right now, because that's a big difference between Dungeon 16. I'm not progressed enough for that. But in terms of like doing Dragons, this is the first time I've tried Dragon 16. It's full auto. And my gear is not great, right? I'll show you the team after this. The gear is not great. And I'm already doing it. So I don't need 60s for dungeons, so... Coffin Smasher will go in, Anthony, once I've booked him. That's why I haven't swapped out Runic yet, because Runic Warder is booked and he's built up. So I just felt like I might as well just keep Coffin Smasher until CVC and build him up then. Odd One, so basically in terms of the challenger tier, Odd One, YST and Deadwood, they're in a very good situation. I think Earbad hasn't pulled anything yet, so I don't know what his situation is with his account. So, this is my problem, right? There's no value in me 60 anyone. Because it doesn't help me push this further, because I can already push this. I just haven't bothered yet, because I haven't needed to. Uragrim is probably really solid once I get books on him, right? Let me show you how this team is built, right? Dragon, 16. Oh, it hasn't uploaded yet for some reason. There we go. Dragon 16 done with this. Kale's built really well. But accuracy levels, like Deacon is in a good accuracy level. Runic Ward is in a good accuracy level. Uragrim's a little bit low. You know, speed-wise, we're all about 150, 160. So... But yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid, right? Rhonda did a decent amount of damage. Don't get me wrong. She's good for... The good thing about Rhonda is she helps clear up after Kale. She can just help me clear up the wave because she's got that AoE. But Gembo might even replace Rhonda because... Like, I'm 100% certain that Gembo will be my third 60 potentially. At the moment. Because I don't have any better options, right? And at least I would get a different affinity Nuka. Which is a challenge for me right now. Fire Knight 13 was hard because Kale is not a strong affinity to it. Certain stages will block me because they're not strong affinity. And what having Gembo allows me to do is basically replace Kale in Arena completely. Right now, Kale is doing everything. Kale is my Arena Nuka, he's my Poisoner, he's in my Clan Boss team, he's my Wave Clearer. He is doing everything for me at the moment, which is a problem. Because... I can't specialize his build in any way, right? So if I want to make him slightly tankier for Clan Boss, I can't really because I can't nerf his damage because it will nerf my progression elsewhere. Once Uragrim is booked and built up, he can take over the dungeon carry perspective. Once Gembo is built up, he can take away the arena, like the arena carry potential. Complete that. But until that point, I actually need to get on with this. Actually, can I unlock a mastery? You can do it. I suppose the Whirlwind of Death would help. That's why we've gone down this route. And like, I can farm Spider 10 as well, so Spider is not a problem for me right now. I need to fight in here. Easy wins, anyone? You want easy win. Just make sure you die. I won't be doing the next fusion, Matt. I have no shards. Next fusion will be impossible. Again, this is why I'm saying clan boss is so important, because until I get access to shards, which is in the clan boss, I can't reliably sit here and go, oh, the next fusion's easy. Got it in the bag. It's just not possible because you're not getting enough shards now. Once your initial shards dry up, like I've had a lot of shards from different achievements and challenges, I'm not getting another sacred now until I get Ultra Nightmare clan boss. Or Nightmare. It's just not going to happen because there's no other places to get sacred shards. Yeah, exactly. I'm almost playing this game now where I'm not in the fusion market. I'm not in a fusion market for the next 2 cycles. So. Oh, and the monthly. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Jonas. I forget about that. Monthly advanced quest. Let's find that one there. Yeah, it's fine. No, of course not, Anthony. But I'd like to at least be at Nightmare pretty soon. Like I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm not progressing, right? So that's why I'm thinking. In terms of my next 60s, I think Coffin Smasher has to be one of the next ones because I think he's going to be. You know, the only reason why I wouldn't 60 Coffin Smash is if I pull something like an Ally Protector with a decreased attack, or I pull a more superior clan boss champion with a decreased attack. Otherwise, he's probably going to be used in all my teams because decreased attack this early on is quite important. Is 12 fusions a year too many? No, I don't think so. I think for an end game account, if there's no fusions, there's nothing to do. So you're bored. For an early game account, it might seem like a lot, but for most levels of accounts, if you haven't got something to focus towards, then it can get a bit boring. I think, personally. Yeah, so like, for example, daily login, right? So I'm going to get an Ancient Shard on reset. Then some energy. Epic books, finally. These will be really big. We're getting lots of Void and Ancients. There's my first Sacred Shard I can get now, day 78. And then if we look at the quests, there's no... That'll be my next one there, right? So I could probably get 2 in the next month. So that's not so bad. Maybe I underestimated how many Sacreds I was going to get. But let's be honest, that's over the duration of the next fusion. So for sure I can't look at the next fusion. So I can maybe look after that one. Maybe. Yeah. So I don't know. What's disappointed me, I was hoping that one of these Sacreds would give me a champion that I could go, yeah, that's really going to help me focus. I'm going to invest in that champion. I don't really feel like I got anything for my like, I don't really feel like anything there is worth investing in. What did I pull? I got a Delver. I got a Magnar. And I got a Ripper. Rage pull 11 Ancients. I'm not burning gems for Ancients. Screw that. Oh, look. Jessica. Everyone give a round of applause to Jessica McAllister in chat for giving me 2 epic books. Thank you so much. That's going to help my Orogrim on Tuesday no end. Obviously, I'll probably by the next times 2 Sacreds, guys, I will probably push all my referral accounts to get these Sacreds. So I can get a big push on the next times 2. But yeah, it's not. So yeah, let me rephrase with Magnar. It's not that I don't rate Magnar. Magnar is very good champion. When I get an AoE HP burn champion, Magnar will be my Spider 20 tank because I think he is S tier for that, right? He's very good at Spider 20 tanking, but he doesn't actually do any HP burn himself. It was the big complaint I had when he came out. I was like, okay, so this ability here has a 100% chance to place decreased defense if the target's under HP burn. Okay, cool. Must be HP burn somewhere. He hits everyone. He places an extra hit if there is no HP burn, and then has a chance of placing a stun if there is HP burn. Okay, cool. So he must have HP burn, right? Does a debuff spread on anyone who's got HP burn? Also increases the duration of HP burn. Must have HP burn. Why doesn't he have HP burn? Why does the champion that has 3 abilities that all interact with HP burn not place HP burn? Rules is correct. It's exactly where my head is right now. The only downside to that rules is it's not reliable because Coffin Smash is not 100%, right? Even when you book him, he's only 75%. Dandabear has gifted a membership. Dandabear is on a roll today. Thank you so much. So much. Really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so potentially I could do Tomb Fire into Harken's debuff spread, but I wouldn't actually need Harken, right? Rules, because I could just basically run his A3 because he'll spread the debuffs, I'm pretty sure. Or does he only spread it onto HP burn? I forget. Oh yeah, so I need Harken. Yeah, so it basically has to go. Coffin Smasher has to land the burn on a 75% chance. Then when he lands it, Harken's going to come in and spread those burns and hope that she does in 3%. And then he comes in and fans the flame and extends all the duration of those burns. And then I just need to run turn meter control, right? So until I get Drexar. Very good. Once I get Drexar, okay. That's probably... Drexar is probably going to be my burner. Doesn't need books, thankfully. He's probably going to be my burner. And then he will probably replace Magnar. You know? That's the thing, right? So here's the thing. In order for him to place burns, he needs to be attacked. Otherwise, he doesn't place a burn. So that means he becomes my spider tank over Magnar, which means Magnar's even more pushed into this niche of Arena Nuker. And Gembo's coming in. There's no way that Gembo is going to be replaced by Magnar. There's just no way. There's zero value in having Magnar over Gembo. Like, the only thing you could say is Gembo requires an increased attack champion. But long term, Arbiter's in the frame, right? Short term, I can use a Spirit Host. Like, it's just, there's not going to be any need for me to run anyone other than Gembo. So, yeah, that's it. He's not a food, right? For 100%, right? He's not food. So I'll keep him. But I think he needs, like, the right setup. He needs the right ability. Like, he will need books to get that cooldown. I don't know what his cooldowns are without books. Let's have a look. 4 turns, not so bad. He's better than Orogrim, for sure. He's less problematic without books than Orogrim. You know, but you don't need any conditionals. Like, this, obviously, we don't care about the decreased defense. So he's much better without books. That's the downside I've had with, like, both Orogrim and Deacon. He's really good, but, like, 6 turn and 5 turn cooldown is brutal. And then this actually, like, you need these extra odds because this 25%, I never see him place poisons on his A1. It's so bad. Don't you be... YST. How... I can't celebrate a Magnar. Come on now. What's your philosophy on the upcoming Dragon times 2 speed? Worth free-to-play gems? It's tempting. I'm getting to the point now, MM0, where gear is better farmed in dungeons. Like, I can farm Dragon on a 3-minute 16 pretty comfortably when my Kale doesn't have enough accuracy. If Kale had accuracy and Orogrim had more accuracy, we'd be laughing. But I just don't have enough accuracy right now. Let's just level that up. Yeah, YST. Come on now. You are in no capacity to sit there and complain about shard pulls, are you? Mr. Taragi, Mr. Pythian, Mr. everything else you've got going on. You deserve a soul drinker for all your other luck. Put you down a level. Like, that was so painful. At least I know how all the free-to-play players feel, right? When people pull all these big fancy champions and then all you get is, like, not fancy champions, I guess. I can empathize now. True, he's got no resources. And actually, my one asset right now is I've got 2,000 gems. That's my advantage over everyone else right now. Everyone else, I think, has got like a couple of hundred gems. I know Hellhades has pushed his gem mine up to rank 3. So obviously he's got a bit more investment there to pay off. But right now I've got 2,000 gems. I can do whatever I want with. I could push for more farming. I can push that into dungeons. I can push that into upgrading the gem mine if I want to. I don't really think I want to do that. And I haven't spent them on masteries, right? I can basically farm masteries comfortably. So I don't need to spend them. Whereas other people I know have pushed really hard and have basically got no resources left. So yeah, you got cold heart, I heard, YST. You're sitting here complaining about a soul drinker. Honestly. You're going all out during CVC triple dip with Gaelix Path, CVC champion training. It's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not 60 in any champion until CVC for sure. I'm not using any books until CVC. I'm 50-50 about pulling Jamasa. Oh, Odd One got it. Yeah, sorry, Odd One. You got an Ugo. Actually, I overvalue Ugo a little bit, but she's actually not that crazy outside of Hydra compared to others. Especially because I got Deacon, right? So it's a lot less. Earbad's hoarding is like... Earbad is on another level with his hoard right now. I'm pretty sure he's got like a bunch of rank 5s to just make. No, I'm not killing Ugo, Anthony. What I'm saying is I put Ugo on a higher pedestal because of how dominant she is in Hydra. But when you actually put her into other dungeons, she isn't doing a lot more than someone like a Deacon or like a Tyrell or someone else like that, right? Whereas when you put her in Hydra, she's doing a lot more than those other champions. That's what I was saying. I wasn't killing her. I was just like, when I've heard when some people have pulled Ugo at the moment for their level of accounts, I'm thinking, oh my god, how am I going to cope? They've got Ugo, but actually my Deacon is doing just as much as Ugo is right now, right? It's the same. Ugo gives Leech, a Revive, and a Cleanse and a Heal with decreased defense and block buffs. The ones that are valuable there right now is Leech and decreased defense. So that's all I was saying. I wasn't killing Ugo. She's a great champion, really, really strong. It's just she's not as like, you know, it's not like me sitting there going, dear God, he's pulled a Pythian, right? That's what I was saying. So I would say though, Anthony, I've been killing Rhonda since she came out. If you check all my videos about Rhonda, it's the same as with Ultimate Death Knight. I don't rate the starter champions that highly. I think they are incredibly bait-worthy champions to invest into early. So yeah. If your player level not 60, is it still more efficient for masteries? So Dave, if you can auto farm stage 15 minnow, it's much more efficient to do minnow farming because the gem to energy conversion in terms of how much energy you need to max them is better for the farming. I think it's like 640 gems if in refills. So it's about what stage you can farm in minnow. If you can farm 15 comfortably, then you're much better off just doing it because you'll get the silver along the way, you'll train the champions along the way, you're going to save long term. And I'm very close to being able to auto minnow 15. I can manual minnow 15 with a bunch of other champions. I can't quite auto it yet. So Earbad is just the man of efficiency. But also Earbad's advantage is he doesn't eat, because I say advantage. He can't play it all day because obviously he works full-time. He's not like us where we work full-time on you know, I work full-time at HH Gaming, so I can play it at the same time. So it's much easier for him to hoard to some extent because he's playing it in between, like, on, you know, on his commute and different things like that. So there's less kind of like, you know, on Friday everyone's pulling their sacred shards. I was like, I need to wait till Sunday. I want to pull my sacred shards, but I have to wait. There's less of that involved. So Ultimate Death Knight is good to keep at 50. Scorian, I'd never book him. I'd never book an Ultimate Death Knight. I think it's a waste of books. Doesn't bring enough for Clan Boss. Again, all my focus, and it's the focus I give to everyone. Your first legendary books, your first champions should always be focused on like for Clan Boss or dungeon progression. And I don't think Ultimate Death Knight is good enough as a dungeon progression champion over the rares you can get. And I don't think he adds enough for Clan Boss, so I would never book him. His only annoyance is actually just like stopping you from being able to farm arena. This is his only real value. is countering the one-man things and being really frustrating in a slow stone skin build. Like that's his niche. But is maxing every legendary I get a fair strategy? I'm getting a large backlog. Not every legendary, but most of them are pretty good. Are the leaderboards still not tracking later runs faster yet? I'll be fixing them tomorrow, Grendel. I've been working on a bunch of things over the weekend with Wolfie. I just haven't had a chance to. But hopefully tomorrow we'll also be adding Faction War stars, Campaign stars. I'll be adding Doom Tower Rotation 2 and a bunch of other improvements, like Great Hall Development ranks as well. So honestly, Spike, Gold Arena 1 is not about Ultimate Death Knight. It's actually just not having any single... like the gap between Silver 4 and Gold 1 is so high. Yeah, it's really high. Well, I just pulled a Lysandra after fully booking. Morrigan is still very good, Mr. T2 Sugars, right? Like, just because you've booked her and you now got a Lysandra, it doesn't invalidate the existence of Morrigan. It just means that if you want more turn meter control, Lysandra's slightly more efficient. But she's still really good, right? Saf, HHD, I think we're all in the same boat. The only thing that I've got going for me that I have to put into context is Aragrim is a very good champion, right? He will pay off long term. So I've at least pulled a couple of champions which will be, in the big picture, very, very good. It's just in the short term, I haven't pulled that much that's like crazy valuable. Am I faster than the Herndig? Let's not risk it. Pythian is 100% worth your bucks. I'll be booking my Pythian and building my Pythian on Thursday on stream. So if you're interested in Pythian, I'll be building him Thursday on stream. Oh, no, mate. Get an extra turn. No. Oh, thank God. Whew. Am I farming Sand Devil? I do the mission. I don't really farm a lot of Sand Devil, no. I don't really get involved in an awful lot of that. Just because I don't need to. I don't have any gear that's like... If I pick a piece that is really, really strong, I'll go farm it to see what it rolls. So... yeah, YST set up for... don't you start YST, I saw that. That's the thing with YST's champs. He's pulled champs that are going to help him now and later on, whereas I'm only pulling champions that are either going to help me in very niche situations or very late on in the game. And nothing is screaming at me right now, this is an amazing pull, off you go. Don't know, it's 60 next. I just got a Valk and I'm thinking of maxing it to replace Skull Crushing Clan Boss. A Valkyrie team is always going to deal more damage than a Skull Crusher team, Veronal. It depends where your focus is, right? That's always what I say to people when they don't know what to 60. It's like, well, where do you want to improve? Do you want a faster dungeon team? Do you want a better arena team? Do you want a better Clan Boss team? Like, that's where you should put your focus and your resources. Yeah, Thursday I'll be building Pythian. Wednesday, what are we doing on Wednesday? What are we doing on Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday we're going to be building a 2-to-1 traditional clan boss team on my main account because I want to do a comparison between Akim, Tum, Frozen Banshee, and Never, who has just pulled Fenchi in his free-to-play, wanted me to see how good Fenchi could be in a similar setup. So I said I'd build Fenchi because I think he's one of my 60s on my main, and put him as a comparison against those three to see how well he can do as well. So Wednesday, which is replacing Monday's stream, we'll be building a 2-to-1 clan boss team, and Thursday we'll be building out Pythian after, because obviously I can't pull him until the end of Clan vs Clan. So yeah. Yeah, Sand Devil is powerful alpha, but it's only relevant if you're in Platinum, and I'm not in Platinum because I just don't have enough of the meta champions on my main to really justify it right now. I could probably push it. It's just the reset windows are like 5 and 6 in the morning, a bunch of other things. I can't be bothered with it. We're doing this clan boss is clan boss normal. This one. We're just doing some of the missions. Isn't Thursday too late? No, Hawkeye, I'll pull Pythian just before Clan vs Clan ends, and I'll book him just before Clan vs Clan ends. So what I meant is I won't have him available for Wednesday stream, but I'll have him available for Thursday stream. I have to wait until the end of Clan vs Clan. So I actually, because I missed not the last Clan vs Clan, I missed the last personal window for me to book my champions on my main account. So my main account has like a lot of points. Like I've got about 40 legendary books I'm going to be using on my main account. So my clan is going to be very happy with me. I know a lot of people are saying Jizzo's good, but he's only good in the context that Hydra means something. Hydra for me right now, I'm not going to be going into Hydra on this account probably for at least 6 months. At least. And if I am going into Hydra, it'll be on normal, and I will literally just one-shot the heads. I'll be trying to kill the heads as quickly as possible. It won't be any sort of like bring a provoker, set up the correct team, because between 3 keys I can get 6.6 million damage by just trying to decapitate the head very quickly and smashing it. So I'm going to keep this champion, which is a 4-star chicken that I don't have to farm, because I might use him in Nightmare Hydra in about 18 months time. It's just not worth it for me. And the chances are I could end up pulling that champion anyway from a shard in the future. So it's not that I'm saying Jizzo is useless as a champion. I'm saying Jizzo is useless as a champion for me right now. Yeah, I will be in Hydra. What I'm saying is Hydra normal is about just nuking a head. So I will bring 6 nukers. I will pick on a head and I will just kill that head. And then I'll try and do as much damage in my key with that head being decapitated as I can. I will probably 1-key Nightmare. I will probably 3-key Hydra normal with that in mind. But I don't think the clan's going to be able to kill Hydra normal anyway. So it's not like I care about any other difficulty. So yeah, Fred. But basically in 6 months' time, Fred, I'll have 18 rank 6s probably. Something around that, or not necessarily 18 rank 6s, but I'll have like 18 champions, either rank 5 or rank 6 that I can use, right? And the first team will literally be like Deacon, Kale, Gembo, probably another damage dealer, like a Harken, and I will literally pick a head and I will smash the head as hard as I can, get it decapitated, and I'll smash the decapitation, get myself up to like 4 million, and then finish it off with the last 2 keys. I should be fine. But again, that's like 6 months down the road. I'm not going to be touching Hydra for 6 months. It's just not going to happen, so I'm not worried about it. And I'm losing a provoke champion when there are so many provoke champions in the game right now is not a big problem for me. When I can go farm a Gnarlhorn, right? I can go farm these rare champions that can do it. There's a void rare that provokes just as good. So exactly. That's why I'm thinking about feeding him. It's less about that the champion is just not good enough. It's more about the fact that he's not going to give me anything in my current account that is so important that he's worth keeping. You know, if it was an epic that actually did a lot more than just provoke, it would be a different conversation, but it's not. I need to move this around a little bit. Actually, just sack off that victory. It's fine. My dream team. Taragi is an ally protector. Godseeker Rhaenyra is an extender. Probably... Probably Tyrell would go in there as my decreased defense and decreased attack champion. So that's decreased defense, decreased attack sorted. Extender sorted. Ally protection, Taragi sorted. Then you're probably looking at like someone who can do increased defense, which would probably be, I'm trying to think of what the good epic defense, increased defense champions are. Gnarlhorn's nowhere close to Jizzo and Hydra. I mean, in terms of resource cost and investment, he is. It's got to remember. Yeah, Jarl's not a bad option. Hotatsu's a great option, actually. That's a great option here, Greffin. You're thinking well there. Where is he? Flat face head. Yeah, this would be great because you also get your leech there as well at the same time. So Hotatsu, so probably Tyrell, Taragi, Hotatsu, Godseeker, and then probably all we need is like a shield / increased speed kind of champion, which could be a Diabolist, or it could be someone else like an ARS. You need maybe a block debuffs in there as well. I mean, it depends if you're running 2-1 or 1-1. If you're running 2-1, then I don't think you can do it. If you're running 1-1, you don't need the Godseeker. You can drop them out. Mizana's not a bad option. There's not... In the epic and rare pool, there's not many good block debuff options. They're all one-turn cooldown. They're very difficult to use. Probably Sepulchre Sentinel actually is up there. You'd probably run Sepulchre Sentinel maybe as a 4-3 or something over the Hotatsu. It's a bit difficult in 2-1 because it's a 4-turn cooldown, but she's really good. Did you just bite the bullet on which champion, Mr. T2 Sugars? I mean, you say he's really good, but here's the difference, right? He's got an 80% chance of placing a provoke for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So you need to cycle back around to him, which is possible. You can go fast on the head. I'm not saying it's not. But you've got to cycle back around. Then what else does he bring? A random counterattack that can potentially get stolen. Pretty risky. Gets an extra turn, I suppose, which brings that cooldown back down. An A1 that does nothing. An aura that does nothing. So he's basically a provoke champion. And here is the argument for provokes, right? Why would I run him when you could just run this dude? I get enemy max HP there with a provoke. Why would I run him when I can just run... where is he? This dude. When I get provoke with a counterattack on myself as well. And the shield cannot be removed. Okay, it's proportional defense. It's probably not that strong, but still better. Why would I run him over someone like... And if we're talking legendary level, there's so many better legendary provokers, right? I just don't see a reason, like... I understand what you're saying, like he's a decent provoker, but I don't think he's that good that he's worth keeping. I don't think he puts him in... I wouldn't say he's an S tier provoker. I think there are better provokers out there, for sure. That give more. I do Nightmare Hydra. I don't need to. I got better provokers. That's what I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying he doesn't provoke. What I'm saying is there are more accessible options for a provoker that doesn't require him to do that. So Necmo's worth it. Necmo's crazy good. In a 1-1 Kyoku team, would you take Sandlashed or Godseeker for buff extending? Godseeker pretty much all the time. The reason why Godseeker is just so good is because of the healing passive. Normally, if you're in like a traditional team, you need some form of healing, which might help you long term. Sandlash is good as like an emergency ally protector, but if you've got Kyoku already, then it's not going to make a big difference. I feel like the Godseeker is just like, you don't notice how strong she is until you put her in the team. She's defense based as well, so she hits reasonably hard. I think she's just such a good champion. Like if I had a Godseeker on this account, she'd be in the conversation for an instant 60 because of how strong she is. You still haven't pulled a husk. Oh, yeah. You can run You can run like a high-speed taunting set as well, right? Like about 12 months ago, provoke champions were very limited, and then we had a run of about 4 champions that all did provoke. It started with Nari, right? We had Nari. He came out as a dwarf. He had this like provoke. He was the first one. Then they brought out Bivald. Where is he? He's up here, right? Then Bivald came out. He was another provoker they brought out. And then we had Sigmund. Sigmund the High Shield came out. Where's he? Obviously, not a lot of people got Sigmund because they got Demitha, but he was another provoker. And we went from having not a lot of provoke options to a lot of provoke options in a very short period of time. So again, as I said, I'm not killing Ugo. I'm not killing Ronda, I'm not killing Jizzo. I'm sure they're useful in their own areas. What I'm saying is, for my level of account right now, there is no value in keeping a Jizzo for a Hydra battle that I might do in the next 6 months to get a provoker that I might need in order to do that Hydra battle. Whereas right now, a 4-star chicken is energy saved. That's a big deal. I can pull another Jizzo in the future if I really need a provoker, or I can just go farm Ice Golem and put someone that's an AoE in a taunting set, right? There are options. It's not like I'm, if I was to burn Orogrim, I'd be totally mental, right? Because there aren't that many champions to get an Orogrim. It's a void epic, so it's going to be difficult for me to get a hold of him until I'm in Ultra Nightmare and farming lots of shards. But right now, a Jizzo is just like nothing to me. Like, if a champion isn't like, this can go in a team that is a Spider, Fire Knight, Dragon, Clan Boss, or a Doom Tower team, it's of zero interest to me. It either goes in the vault because I know I'm going to definitely use him in the future, like Harken. I'll definitely have a use for in the future, but notice how I've not put any resources. She's not booked. There's no masteries. There's no gear on her. I know I will have a use for her in the future because she does stuff that not many champions do. There's only a few debuff spread champions in the game. She's also Void Affinity, which is great, so Void is harder to get hold of. But I'm not investing in her right now. She's just in the vault. She's waiting. So yeah, like normal Hydra, I can beat up normal Hydra probably with just like 6 DPSs, right? All I'll do is I'll pick all my champions that deal damage. I'll pick on a head, try and kill it, and just hit the decapitated head as hard as I can to get to 6.6 million, because I only need 6.6 million. And it's not like the clan is going to be hitting like hard. There's just no way that I have teams for hard in the next 12 months for Hydra. You just need too many resources, and I'm not going to invest in something that I can just do normal, get my Mithrala, and peace out. And the sets are only really useful for Clan Boss. So anyway, guys, Hellhades is going to be streaming like pretty soon, I think. So I am going to call it there. Thanks for hanging out. Our shard pulls were not great. I got to decide what I'm going to do with this 856 energy now. And I still need to do some arena fights because I need to finish my daily mission. So hopefully we can find more of these fights where we can actually kill people. Yeah, so I'm going to try and grind some of this out. We'll see what we get. Thanks for hanging out. There'll be episodes. There'll be an updated episode going out tomorrow for the free-to-play. So hopefully that'll be done. I can only get one there. How many more do I need for this advanced mission? Oh, I need to win like 2 more fights. Should be enough before the week reset. So there you go, guys. I'll catch you soon. Ciao.
Say